My work has been focused on working with nonprofits, peace groups, groups working on to control urban sprawl, 14 years in the state legislature, a couple campaigns that didn't pan out as well for governor and Congress, and now for the last 3 years as a broadcast journalist. So none of that relevant to my studies in school, but all of it relevant to my inner mission of trying to do my part for social change. When it happened, it was the most promising thing I'd seen in my almost 30 years of activism. We need a movement like that. It was disturbing to me to see how quickly it kind of fell apart. The truth is, people are fed up, and the right kind of spark can ignite a movement that really could have an influence on the direction of this country. And what we saw that was Occupy. I was just shocked at the way the police force rallied against Occupy. That indicates to me too that there is some vitality in the movement, that the movement is talking about the right issues, because you wouldn't get that kind of response from the police and the security forces, either private or otherwise, if you weren't saying something that they didn't want to hear.
Well, I think whether you agree with Ed's politics or not, Ed's a man that walks his talk. I think there's nobody better suited to be a political leader than Ed, and there's also nobody who faces a bigger challenge becoming a political leader than Ed, because he's so ethical. It's difficult for him to gain any ground.
To me, I concur with Henry David Thoreau. That government is best which governs least. But that doesn't mean you can have no government. There has to be some mechanism to assure that the very powerful and the wealthy don't take advantage of everyone else. My political philosophy is that government should be about the common good, and to the extent that government becomes focused on the interests of corporate entities or special interest groups or those who are powerful and just want government to further pad their nests, that's not right. That problem has gotten much worse since I became involved in politics. It's really, I can't believe the extent to which it's gone downhill. I've always tried to challenge corruption in politics. When I made the statement, it's for the last 4 years. Anytime it's come up in conversation, I've made it clear that, Leonard Boswell tried to get me out of the race against him in 2008 by offering me the bribe of an $80,000 a year job, which I, obviously am not going to take. And I didn't make it an issue in my campaign because I wanted to focus on actual issues. But, I mentioned it about a month before the election, and suddenly he's slapping a lawsuit on me. Government should be about the needs of people, and that certainly includes creating an environment that has as much freedom as possible, where people are free to live how they want. I was a son of a military guy, so traveled around a little bit, but mostly raised in Massachusetts and Ireland. I spent a lot of time on my grandparents' farm growing up. Every couple summers we'd go over there and spend a good bit of the summer there, and that was very influential in my formative years. It inspired me to become very passionate about agriculture. What I really wanted to do when I was just getting out of high school was I wanted to farm and I wanted to play music. That was my passion in terms of what I saw myself doing professionally. Piano is my forte, no pun intended, but I also play accordion, I play classical guitar, I have a folk guitar as well, I play Irish drum, the bodhrán, and the Irish whistle, and I also play church organ. And I guess if I needed to, I could squeak out a few tunes on the violin and the harmonica. In college, and it took me 10 years to finish my undergraduate, but not for the same reason it took John Belushi 10 years. It wasn't partying for me, it was a longing to travel. I spent half my college years traveling. And I studied philosophy, music, and religion, and Spanish to some extent, all real practical stuff. When I turned voting age, I developed a very strong aversion to politics. I thought it was a sticky, ugly mess, and I wanted nothing to do with it. I didn't even vote. And then Ronald Reagan was so offensive to me when he talked about bombing Russia and cutting down all the redwoods, because heck, you've seen one, you've seen them all. He inspired me to register to vote when I was, I think, age 26, just so I could vote against him. What inspired me to become an activist was studying Mahatma Gandhi and other activists for social change who focused on nonviolence, and then kind of having an internal revelation that the best life I could lead would be one that was committed to doing as much as possible to give back to the community, to help those who were being affected by injustice, and to do my part to see that this beautiful planet was protected and hopefully is going to be around for a few more years. Again, I always wanted to be somewhere where food and farming was important, and my ex-wife is from Des Moines, so after convincing her to move to an Indian reservation in Wisconsin and my family's farm in Ireland, she talked me into moving to Des Moines, and that was 1984, and been here ever since, and it's home. It's my family. I love it here, and I can't imagine living anywhere else. I don't like to throw anything away. I have a 1995 car with 236,000 miles on it. My bike is from 1985. The frame is already broken once, but it was soldered back together 10 years ago, and it's working fine. It's got probably 55, 60,000 miles on it, and I put about 3,000 miles on it a year. Not bad. A few sticks in it. It's all from leaves, weeds, kitchen scraps, chicken manure. That's another thing about chickens is if you're going to grow vegetables, chickens are your best friend because they'll provide that key ingredient for compost. And compost is, of course, I think the key ingredient for happy gardening. So chickens and vegetables, they get along very well together. I finally started engaging the activism I felt called to, and everything started getting better. I started feeling focused. I was less afraid of the future. So it just seemed like that was pretty clearly the direction I was supposed to go, and once I embraced it, it worked. But I've never lost sight of the importance of my music or my interest in farming, and I play my instruments as often as I can. If you stand for what you believe in and make it clear as to why, people will, for the most part, respect that.